Yo, yo, yo. Peace. What's happening? First Shadow Stroll 2026. Gave already. Like, take me back, please. Anyway, let me put this on. Put this phone in my pocket. Right here. Hold on one second. Okay. Is this just still trying to rotate? Yeah. All right. Cool. So, use my mic right. I'm gonna put it right here on my head. All right. So, today was the day I had to remind myself who the fuck I am. Reminded everybody else too. I forget how when I'm in certain situations or I have to handle certain affairs in business, I forget how ruthlessly efficient I can be. You know what I'm saying? I'll just forget. I get so stuck in rapper mode, or I get so stuck in programmer mode, or so stuck in strategy mode, or whatever, this or that. So stuck in, handling business that I forget when the clock is on and it's me on one end of a conversation. Let's say a business conversation of some sort. Doesn't have to be a sales thing. And another individual or another party on the other end, I forget how deadly I am with that shit. I forgot until today. I remembered about 5 minutes into the call, and I was like, oh, these people pie. So I'm not gonna get into what that was all about, but let's say that hearing went successfully in my favor and ended up embarrassing the people on the other end for being completely incompetent. I think it's gonna be a lot more of that. A lot more of that coming this year. Yeah, so I would say up to, let's say from 2017 up to 2025, I just reflected back, honestly and earnestly. What's up, Kimani? I allowed, what's up, Will? Will Smith, oh shit. This is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. You're not that Will Smith, are you? That'd be wild. Anyway, 2019 to 2026. And by the way, if y'all wondering, I appreciate the light. If y'all wondering why you can't see my face, my phone was run over by a pickup truck. So the front camera is completely fucked. So yeah, it's all good. We can just talk like this. So yeah, like 2017 to 2025, I let a lot of shit slide. I let a lot of shit slide that I'm not allowing to slide anymore, or I wouldn't typically allow to slide. And some of the stuff this was kind of to my detriment. You can see us, but we can't see. Yep. I mean, I can turn the camera around. You can see my feet walking, but I don't think that's very exciting. So, might as well get comfortable if you choose. What's up, Plan Aviation? So yeah, I reflect back now. So now at this point, like I'll be 35 in a few short months, and I look back and like in my 20s, especially like mid 20s, I allowed myself to eat a lot of dog shit. I don't mean that literally, but I allowed people to treat me any kind of way. When it came to legal matters and legal affairs, I allowed people to kind of push me around. So I ended up in situations I shouldn't have been in. And I take my blows, I take my responsibility for whatever needs to be taken on. But on the same token, no, some of those situations I should have nipped the shit in the bud very early. And I think this is like, how many of y'all, just as a show of hands, how many of y'all are what people call empaths, or just generally empathetic to other people? Like, you care, right? I think that's really what that shit breaks down to. I don't think it's like some kind of magic ability, so to speak, like some people do. Like, okay, so if you have that kind of, yeah, you can see my screen. Shit's just busted. I almost saw my face earlier in the selfie camera. But if you move that way, to where like you're generally the type of person that cares about other people, cares about their outcome, you want to see them do better than they were when you first met. Because right, like that's, I don't even know if that was 100% how I was raised. That's just kind of what's been in me since I was a child. If I come into a place, especially once I, kind of came into my own and started to, become more comfortable with who I am. If I come into a place, I always intend to leave it better than it was when I first got there, right? So it can be a place that's absolutely fantastic. Okay, how can I add even more good to this place? How can I add more energy to it? Positive energy. How can I maybe make it a little bit cleaner? How can I make it, how can I make somebody around me smile a few more times that they wouldn't have smiled? Y'all can chill with that damn 6'7" shit. We don't play that around here. Whereas, even if someone, like, you go into a place or you're around somebody and they're not in a good environment, or you're not in a good environment, but you kind of, I guess you could say, for lack of better words, you kind of have to be there for a little bit, or you choose to be there, which is really what it comes to, or you choose to be around this person who has a negative self-perception, a negative image of themselves, or whatever the case is. Okay, well, I've always been the type to where when that's the case, I'm going to try to lift that person up. I'm going to find the things that are good about that person and try to highlight those things so that they can see it. And then so those, traits and things can be intensified, and those things can grow, and they can maybe even blossom into growing into being the type of person that they actually love. And they kind of develop that self-love, and, that starts to at least give them a little bit of leeway with their self-image, so to speak. You're paying me. Y'all funny. But one thing that's often underestimated when in certain those situations, like, okay, everybody can relate to this. Pretty much everybody. And pretty much everybody's been in a situation to where they were dating someone, and that person maybe's not too far from piece of shit. Maybe they didn't have the best traits or the best. They didn't have your best interests in mind. Let's put it that way. Let's keep it PC, right? And you pour your heart into it, and you're trying day in day out to help them feel special and loved and all these kind of things, but it's just not there in their self-image. Like they can't see it, or if they do see it, it's fleeting. It's like a fucking butterfly, just and it just flutters away. They can't even catch it. It won't land on them because they got that funk on themselves about how they look at themselves, right? Oftentimes, people who think that way and operate that way, oftentimes they'll end up treating the people like shit around them. You know what I'm saying? They'll treat the people around them like shit. And if you're the type to where you're very empathetic, or you're very focused on, I don't know, being Captain Save a Hoe or something, then you can very easily get dragged down into that, and then boom, before you know it, your self-perception gets dragged down. Before you know it, you're looking at yourself like, I don't really, maybe I'm not such a great person after all, or whatever the fuck people tell to themselves when they're in negative states. So my point is bringing this back around, and this goes, it's not just like relationships, but this goes for business. This goes for people and their jobs. This goes for how people relate to their family, all these kind of things. My point is bringing this back around. I had to really figure out and remember today, oh shit, that's right. When it's in this kind of high pressure situation, and these are the bounds, and I know the bounds, and I'm prepared, and even if I'm not fully prepared, if I'm just charged for it, I am him. I will run over whoever is in opposition to me. That's right. Yeah, I did say that. I did say that in 20 songs across my last 9 albums. How did I forget? And then it comes back, and then while you're in the flow of doing that thing, this is what I observed in myself. While I'm in the flow of doing that thing, all of a sudden I don't really need to look at my notes anymore. I'm feeling the right thing to say coming up, next in my mind, or the right thing to do. I'm feeling it. I'm ready to say it, but I'm also patient. I'm not jumping the gun, not getting too excited, sticking straight to truth and the facts. One thing that I will encourage everyone to do is, and this is something that I think most, if not everybody, has an issue with. There are a few exceptions. There's a few people that I know that maybe don't do this, but most everybody lies to themselves, right? A thing that I would encourage pretty much everyone to do is to try and live 100% truthfully in your thoughts, in your words, in your actions for like 2-3 weeks. Give it like 21 days. Like, don't lie about shit. Fuck the consequences. Fuck what you think someone's gonna feel about it. Fuck what you think, this or that or whatever. Just try and live entirely in truth for 21 days. And I can damn near guarantee you'll start to see an entirely new and different side of life that you didn't really think was possible. And I've gone through these periods myself in my early 20s, in my sage era, when I just kind of locked myself in my space and I was just doing yoga, meditating, practicing martial arts every day, and I blocked everybody out, and I wasn't talking to anybody for like 3 years, maybe longer. And in that space, okay, if it's just you and you have to talk. At some point it gets to where like you can't lie, because you are gonna know. or when you raise your presence that high and you, kind of have your focus on that. The fuck is that? A bunch of chicken nuggets? Oh, a bunch of rocks. Okay. Oh, those are